See, in this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns, those who dig. You dig.
Finish him!
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 9 of the Blitz Pro League. Myself, Rolling Swarm, am your host on stream this evening, joined in the commentator box by Satan from the Legion clan and Dutch Punisher. So very good to be back here. Only one lineup this evening. We've got LOCA playing off against Live. Hey Dutch, hey Satan, good to have you here.
Hello, good evening everybody. So tonight, as Reg or Rolling Swarm just mentioned, we're going to be having only one game since I believe Eros and Unknown have rescheduled their match since they won't be able to put forward a team for this evening. So that game you can catch that at 8 PM CEST, or sorry, yeah, it is CEST on Sunday.
Yeah, very good of those guys. In the spirit of the league, Both of them unable to attend, but they want to compete. They want to keep the league as competitive as possible and manage to come to a rescheduling agreement between themselves. Really encouraging stuff there. So we'll have a bit of an overlap on Sunday. It just means you have more games to watch. So you might have to choose between your favorite teams, but certainly Sunday promises to be action-packed again with 3 fixtures coming up. Looking at the lineup, though, this evening, we have got these guys playing off
LOCA versus Live. It promises to be a good match. I mean, if we just quickly look at the league table and what's going on over there, if I just quickly bring it up. I believe these teams are very close on points. We've got LOCA with 9 points, as we saw them win 4 points last night with a 4-0 victory against... who are they playing against? They were playing against Win last night, and they got 4-0 victory against Win. And we also have Live, who have got 8 points, just 1 point behind, and that puts them in second and third place respectively. So a very exciting match, and I believe we're ready to head into the first game now.
Yeah, and we are going into Castilla. We've seen it so far in the league. Very hotly contested map. Looking at the lineups here, LOCA rocking the double bat chat. Strong double team mobility there. Oaken Shield in the 183, White Tiger IS4, Evil Boobs IS7, the Wreckett E268, Karolek in the E5. Across the table, Live, Bat Chat, double IS4, IS7 268, and it looks like, I can't see my ammo bars in the way again. Once more,
E4 and E5.
Ah, thank you very much, Satan. So, it is LOCA on the red team, North Spawn, facing up against Live, blue team, South Spawn. I am going to be paying very close attention to Fluffy Fox and Survivor 99 in the bat chats here. Both of them dropping the speed boost. The question is, are they focusing? It looks like Fluffy Fox is going to B. Survivor 99 going for C. Very interesting
Absolutely.
move.
Something you can see immediately is this Death Star is going to be a very key tank. These two bat chats, if they're able to spot the IS-7 up on the hill, the Death Star can put a very devastating shot into him.
But it looks like Oaken Shield, he's struggling with the ascent here. Oaken Shield in the 183, that's the Death Star Satan's referring to. But
Great
look,
cap there by Survivor on the A base, just narrowly avoiding 2 IS-4s from Live, pushing down towards that base.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to take a good position there, I believe.
Really, really good move. Great speed work there by Survivor 99. He is backed up by White Tiger in the S4. Survivor getting shots across. Gets the tracks of Kawakasa. My
Was
God.
he spotted when he took that shot? Was that blind?
I think that was a blind fire. Great play there. But White Tiger is spotted here. He is spotted up. Mortzakeng. Oh my. Is it just me or are the names gotten harder to pronounce this evening? I feel like the names have gotten harder.
They're doing us a disfavor, aren't they?
Absolutely. Fluffy Fox, though, taking a bit of damage there. I think it was Blazy in the 268. It was indeed Blazy on the reload. Big high alpha roll there into Fluffy Fox. He was lucky to get away with just a 600 rather than a HE roll. And now the cap points are about 2 kills in the favor of LOCA. LOCA doing a really good job. Survivor 99 here. He's gonna proxy spot that hill area, and he's gonna proxy spot anyone pushing on A. He's in a very strong position.
If we just look quickly at the positions that LOCA have managed to put themselves in, they got a Death Star at the back, and they got 2 bat chats in very capable positions, able to spot anyone. And Live has decided to push back one of their IS-4s, knowing that they're not able to push through this A base.
Well, I think also the Wreckety from LOCA in the 268 in the top left corner there. Really good positioning. Now we've got Diddy Salah from Live, the blue team E4. He's defending B. A really good position there. Going to be denying Fluffy Fox, denying the B reset. The question is it going to come down to now Live? They have to make the move here.
They do.
LOCA,
they need to keep their hit points and trade effectively.
Yeah, LOCA can play very passively, very defensively. Evil Boobs here in the IS-7. Luminous pink camouflage. Very strong position here for the IS-7 hull down. He can afford to play very defensively. So LOCA, all they need to do is keep A free, make sure that Live don't get into C, and ensure that they trade effectively and they've won the match. So Live, the question is, what are they going to do to turn that round?
Ideally, they will be able to rotate some of their vehicles around towards one of the bases A or through the middle, ideally at B, as they have cover from the Death Star at each of these locations. However, it doesn't seem as they're committing that much to it. We see VIP here in his IS-4 moving up, but that's about it.
Well, VIP in the Inferno camouflage He's spotted, and the Recity in the 268 looks like he's going to be able to get shots on VIP if he pushes across. And it's a low HE roll there. But VIP now, number 3 from the blue team, spotting across. The White Tiger will be able to get a HE reset here. But Live doing a great job. They're slowing the cap down. Double bounce by Live there, taking one from Survivor 99 in the back chat. Survivor 99 playing the bridge here.
Against the 268. That's what they're able to do in this. They may be taking a little bit of damage in return, but it's nothing compared to the damage they're putting out on that 268.
Well, the Recity, yeah, he's bleeding hit points left, right, and center, and it looks like the specialist in the E5, there's a lot of guns targeting the Recity in the 268. Hit points about almost 3k in the favor of Live here. They've done a great job of slowing down the cap for LOCA. Now they just have to be careful that they don't lose any guns. The 2 IS4s here, VIP and Morty. Oh my god, that's hard. Zaking. But he's down.
Great shot there by Recity, taking him out.
Thank god we don't have to pronounce that name again. Great shot by Recity there. And Recity proving that it was wise for Live to be targeting the 268 in the backfield. Are you seeing any key moments on the battlefield, Satan, that could boil over soon?
Definitely. If this E5 takes a bit too much of a risk, he might get shredded by that 183 sitting up in a strong position at the back. And if we look, Evil Boobs is currently on very low hit points against an E4 and the IS7 of Kawakasa. So if he's taken down, then potentially I could see Live capping the base C.
Yeah, it's worth noting Evil Boobs in that luminous pink IS7. He's in relative isolation. He's got 2 TDs off to the left, notably, but there he goes. That's the gun advantage that Live were looking for. That puts him in the cap lead. Kawakasa spotted. He's going to wait for the camo to reset, but theoretically, he is now free to cap C, and that will start racking up the cap pressure. But VIP and Mortakang are down. The cap lead's still in the favor of LOCA at the moment, sorry.
Fluffy Fox is now getting pushed by a 268 and an E4, but they've got support. This Death Star's going to be able to put a brutal round there.
Oh no, low roll, and a bounce! A bounce! Fluffy Fox bounces Blazy in the 268. Now...
He's got to be careful of that DPM though. He's going to be able to swing around right that corner and finish him off.
But ideally. It's E4. E4 on the low roll. Fluffy Fox here defying RNG. Hanging in there. The Recity 268 gets his second kill. Fluffy Fox reversing, dancing circles around Live. Kawakasa coming in here to finish him off. How is Fluffy Fox still alive? Specialist takes down Survivor 99. It's all to play for here.
Points.
Live.
So close now, 4-4, only 1,000 hit points in it, less than that now, 700. The Bat Chat is on top of the hill, and the E5 is likely going to get taken down here by White Tiger and Rolek, and he does, he goes down. So now we've just got the 183, he's got a shot ready, will he be able to put one in?
Well, it's 3 guns on 3. The cap points, though, are going to go over to Live. It was that clearing the C-cap area, and that is Live for the victory. LOCA denied the first win here. Really strong comeback from Live, noting they were in the disadvantaged position on the opener there.
Absolutely. That sacrifice that those 2 IS4s paid by moving into that cap base and eventually losing their lives really paid off. It put the pressure, instead of on them, back onto LOCA. That was the key moment of that battle.
I think certainly, you know, VIP and Mortizaking, someone's going to have to clue us up on that pronunciation. But those double IS4s, wonderful play there. Really, I think Oakenshield in the 183 is going to be kicking himself. He used the Hesh roll, but he got a super low roll into the live.
Very unfortunate not to penetrate that, considering he was above him as well.
Exactly. You know, in a Hesh roll for below 500, it's one of those kick me moments where you think, if I just used AP, that could have been the deciding factor in the game. But you can never boil it down to one moment like that. But very close there. Both teams in the running right up until the very last second. 3 guns apiece in the fight. Now we're going to swap the spawns. We're going to see LOCA, the green team, on the left of the screen, starting on the south spawn this time. Live, red team, they're going to be starting up north on the red number 1. In terms of balance on this map, Satan, what do you think? Are the spawns equal?
No. I think this is one of the rare occasions when map spawns aren't particularly equal. It depends what you're playing though. So one side the northern side, so where the red spawn is right now, that's superior for heavy tanks. You can get much better hold down positions in B, and you're able to hold much more effectively at that zone. However, if you're in the southern spawn for medium tanks, you can get up into a really great position for something like an M48 pattern on the hill, that is. All right, I believe we're ready to go into second round. So they have got a pattern, and we'll be seeing how they decide to use this tank.
Well, both teams sticking with the 268 here. The 268 from either side in the previous game, very, very dominant. The 268, it's taken over from the grill in terms of that TD, the buff to the gun traverse and the mobility, combined with its very strong natural camouflage values, making it a clear contender.
To be reckoned with.
Exactly, and we're seeing a lot of it. So, having a look at the opening gambits, Blazy from Live in the Batchat 25T, dropping the hammer. He's got the speed boost. He's rocking the Russian Twister camouflage, noting we're coming up to the Twister season. He's potentially going to be coming up against Karolek from LOCA in the STB, although Karolek's going for the cap. Now it's going to be Evil Boobs in the 50B coming across.
Got quite a strong presence here from LOCA. Is he going to be able to get this base and without getting spotted?
I think he will.
Likely to take a lot of damage here from LOCA's Evil Boobs.
Oh no!
One shot in.
And
Two shots. He takes one in return.
He's lost over 1,000 HP and hasn't managed to secure the A base. You saw what he did there. He knocked that tree down to try and give himself some extra soft camouflage, but he got it at the wrong angle and was spotted up. And unfortunately for Live, that's a bit of a soft start. Although Evil Boobs in the 50B didn't get away completely unpunished. I think he took a bit of damage there from Specialist in the E5. I'm not sure. Yeah. So really, a very equally balanced performance. We're just over a minute in. No caps in contest other than that A base.
It's all about the hit points right now. If I just bring you to the STB of Karolek, this is the position I was talking about. He's able to get right up onto the side of this hill, and if he moves forwards, he's got two bushes which he can peek, spot TDs at the back, and use his gun depression to put side shots into the pattern or even the E5. Unfortunately, right now there's multiple tanks there, so it's difficult to get to, but that's a really strong location.
Well, he's able to deny this central Castilla area, able to sort of get Overwatch into A, able to spot TDs up on the back line, and he's got a lot of options to resist a push should it come, and he's got backup in the form of Survivor 99 and Evil Boobs off to his left. So like you say, it's a key position. He could be a very important factor for the LOCA team moving forwards into the rest of the game.
Especially since we see now IS4 of Morteza King coming off on the towards the A base, so it looks like Live are forming up towards the A base for a push.
Yeah, and it was
LOCA seemed to be ready for this though.
But LOCA, they were capping C base and they almost got it. I believe it was a blind shot by VIP in the IS4 into Fluffy Fox that got the reset. And that is very, very, very key. That could have been super for LOCA to get the cap pressure ticking over. But if we have a look here, yeah, you're absolutely right. We've got Live stacking up heavy tanks. Now, between the E5 pattern IS4, backed up by the two TDs, they could make a very strong push here. But it's not going to be an easy gambit. And there goes, it's a one shot from Evil Boobs. Specialist pushing across now. I wonder if LOCA...
They're going to try and take the base. Maybe he's sacrificing himself just so that Morteza King can cap the base.
I think that would be a really unwise trade. Oh, wow. Evil Boobs down.
Evil Boobs.
Fantastic. The double TDs there making use of their heavy tank spotters. The heavy securing A and getting damage in for their TDs by spotting. And we've got Oakenshield, Karolek and Survivor.
Karolek's position. This is the really key position. They're able to get easy side and rear and top shots onto those heavy tanks. Denying that, well, they managed to cap the A base, but they took a lot of damage in return. Yeah,
Morteza tracked. He's down to a one-shot. Massive hit from the...
1.3k damage.
That is a big hesh roll from Diddy Salah in the 183. Wonderful play by those TDs. That backline from Live proving to be such an important strategy here. And this is where spotting range in Clan Wars, understanding the mechanics of view range, and spotting distances and camouflage values is so important. Great positioning by Live. The
base is being capped though now, so LOCA are managing to pull it back, and if they can get C as well, blind shots go into the C base, but none of hits.
Well, LOCA have taken down Morteza King. That's tied up the guns. They're still behind in cap points, but they do have the double cap advantage. and they have 1k HP advantage. LOCA can now play soft. LOCA can play soft, but Oakenshield's relatively isolated. Although he does have Survivor 99 covering his rear, he needs to hold this ridge and he needs to make sure he doesn't overexpose. There's Kawakasa in the 268, potentially ready to light him up. Now, once again, we see Live in the position they were initially leading to begin with, but now they are once again in the position where they have to make the decisive move. They have to push. They have to apply the pressure.
And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. We see the Batchat rotating around slightly with the 183 pushed up and the 268s now regaining the high ground. The pattern in the E5, on the other hand, have decided to take an engagement with Oakenshield in his E5. Looks like they're winning that so far.
Yeah, they're doing really good. They're trading effectively against Oakenshield. Now, the roll from the 183 into the STB1 Karolek, that has really given Specialist and Janik 971 here a solid advantage, though they are outgunned, and that is worth bearing in mind. There's 4 LOCA tanks here, but it's
White Tiger just took 1,000 damage in the middle.
Oh dear, that is not good at all. But looking here, Specialist and Yannick, they're 2 against 1. They do have a little bit of backup behind them. No, they don't. The TDs have relocated. This could be a misplay by Live. As soon as the TDs get spotted, we're potentially going to see a pincer here on Specialist and Yannick, and that could be everything.
Base Live's pushed down on the batch out of Fluffy Fox, and Diddy Salah's going to come in from the side and try and put a Hesh round, I imagine, into the IS-4. He bounces off the roof of the IS-4. What a well, not a bad shot, but unfortunate penetration roll there.
Well, LOCA coming back. They've managed... Well, they're currently leading by 1 gun, but the hit points tied neck and neck. Diddy Salah here potentially going to get the reset on B. It's Blazy in the Batchat. He's come up into White Tiger. VIP's potentially going to finish off White Tiger. There we go. Excellent move. Now it's 4 on 4, but the cap points lead for LOCA, but Live, the blue team, have now secured B and C. So
2 shots into the Death Star then. 1 more shot for the Death Star, and he is dead. He's still got enough damage, though, in order to make LOCA feel pain, even if he just managed to get 1 more shot out.
But he's in a very difficult position because he's got Oakenshield off to his left, he's got Karolek above him, and there's Survivor 99 and the Reketi pushing up the left, but Kawakasa in the 268, he's doing an excellent job. Brilliant positioning here. He potentially can finish off Survivor 99. Almost!
Unfortunate roll there, but great play by LOCA here. Sorry, Live even. Kawakasa able to get the flanking shots onto the 268 and the IS-4, almost reducing him to 0 HP.
And that is the battle finished.
Over.
Absolutely fantastic. And I think Live take that one on cap lead. Really, again, so hotly contested. The damage just over 1k inflicted in the favor of Live. And Live, by the skin of their teeth on both spawns there, managing to trump LOCA.
It was really great play there by both teams in certain points of the match. We had LOCA able to deal damage into the sides of the heavy tanks, and then we had Live and eventually coming back, pushing Fluffy Fox in his Batchat, and then that moment basically won them the game when they were able to eliminate 2 of LOCA's tanks who were basically isolated on a flank.
It was really, certainly for me, looking at how these teams, both teams on both spawns, were using the 268. It was really great. I mean, the 268 is a tank that I personally struggle with. And looking at it in this particular meta here, super encouraging and really important. You know, those alpha rolls. And the 183, what a cracking game he had for Live.
He had 3.5k damage, I believe.
Yeah, but it was that... For me, a key moment in the game was that big Hesh roll into Karolek in the STB. That really dented LOCA's ability to push on that flank effectively. Well,
the STB would have been a perfect counter to one of the Batchats that Live had, but as soon as he was reduced to a 2-shot for a Batchat, that basically makes him really ineffective. It
makes him clippable. The Batchat can burn him down in 6 seconds. That's all the Batchat needs to clear 1k medium HP on average. Is 6 seconds. And the STB just can't deal with that in a one-on-one situation. So super, super strong performance there by Live.
We're just waiting for you to ready up.
And Specialist. But we're looking here, we're moving across to Dead Rail. We're going from the dynamic map of Castilla, lots and lots of different potential options, but all well known, to the very campy map of Dead Rail. It's being, well, potentially being taken out of the tier 10 rotation, the tier 10 meta. yet to be confirmed. But the
Don't do it.
Don't do it. No, it's a bit campy. But it's those long sight lines. It's a bit of a gamble. On the medium flank. The medium flank you can push, but you can get punished when you do it. And that'll be very interesting to see, whether the teams are trying to try and control the elevated part of the map, or if they're going to look to lock in the kind of the TD area, the city area, play that ridge line. There's two main approaches to it in my book. But we're seeing here, both teams stacking up the TDs. We're ready to go.
And we will see exactly what they do in the third round on Dead Rail.
So looking here at Live's lineup, they are taking the 1-5B again. Didi Salah has played the 1-5B on this map previously, and he is a force to be reckoned with. They've also got
at all those TDs as well. 2 183s, Gorillas, E3s, 268s. This is going to be a very campy match. However, I think the real skill and what's going to show these teams off is if they're able to break that camp. And they've got some tanks to do it. They've got their IS-4s, they've got Mouses and E5s, all tanks that are very capable of withstanding or bouncing shells from these big tank destroyers.
It's potential, but you've got to remember the guys in those tank destroyers, they know what they're doing. It's not going to be like in randoms where you might bounce or they might miss. There's a very strong chance you're going to take a lot of damage. Looking at the minimap here, at the minimap here, both teams contesting both caps. We've got Karalek STB1 up against Blazy and the E50M oversea. VIP in the 268 supporting Blazy. No one backing up Karalek really in the STB. The Reckitt relocating, flexing here in the Batcher 25T. Evil Boobs in the Grill 15 with a view line.
That Grill's covering him. That Grill is able to put supporting fire up into C-base from there.
And Survivor 99 in the IS4 calling out the location of the TDs on Live. It looks like Live are stacked heavier in the middle. With the Mouse and 113, they potentially could dominate the B area. Specialist in the E5, he's playing this ridge. And he's using that very, very, very strong turret. Good gun depression, hull down, playing the ridge line here. And then if we look, it's the guy's name who I can't pronounce, rocking one of the football camouflages, locking down the A base. I prefer the positioning of LOCA on this map, to be honest.
Well, they've got the 2 medium tanks up at sea. However, they're not going to be doing very much over there, considering they got the 268 in the back. And as for LOCA's tanks per position, they've got the E3 in a really strong position at A, and he basically negates anything Live can do there. Yeah,
look at this Oaken shield in the E3. No one can cap
the Reckitt.
No one can cap the A base. Yeah, Batchat there. The Reckitt taking some fire. And if anyone tries to get behind Oaken Shield, Evil Boobs in the Grill, White Tiger in the IS4 will have his back covered. So great positioning by LOCA. Live, of course, also very well balanced. We're neck and neck. Hit points, a little bit of being bled by the Reckitt, but kind of just by tank composition, Live having a sort of innate advantage here. But that's being closed bit by bit.
2 good shots.
Yeah,
Two good shots there by Karalek and his STB into the cheeks of Kawakasa.
Oh, and another one. Brilliant play by Karalek. Now Kawakasa's in a bit of trouble because Karalek's being allowed to get away with this. That's the 4th shot. He's getting unpunished for this, and this is bad news for Live because it's costing them dominance in the middle here. We talked earlier, if a tank bleeds too much HP, it loses effectiveness and it can mean the difference between a successful push or a successful rush resist. And this is Live, and look here, we've got Janik 971 coming in to support Kawakasa. Worth noting, both of these guys have got the camouflage, which means that they had got at least 7 or 6 modules unlocked before spare parts, the things that came in from 3.8 were taken away. So both of these guys experienced and having grinded out the hard way in these tanks. So having a look now, Kawakasa's relative. Yeah, let's have a look at A. Who are you looking at?
So it's interesting. It's just been a war of blind shots so far. The E3 has been decided to just constantly blind shot the bush in the back. Luckily, Live has got nobody there. However, King and Oakenshield have been trading shots for shots, with one of them penetrating a heat and the other one HE. So it's just a lot of camping. We're not seeing anything particularly special yet.
Well, this is a super. I mean, in terms of our viewing pleasure and experience, not run and gun, not adrenaline fueled. In terms of the discipline on display here by both teams, fantastic. No one bleeding unnecessarily, except potentially for the Recordty, but he were spotting initially. Both teams being exceptionally conservative. And if it goes on much longer, we've got about 2.5 minutes left. One concerted push, one gun down, one cap, and this is what we could be seeing here.
Potentially A, E3 and IS4 is pushing down onto Morteza King. And what's going to go down? Are they just going for the base? I think this is a good play. Rather than actually trying to push around the corner, hide behind the E3, cap the A base, then pull back. That's all they need to do.
A really good play and a great job. Both of them double cap there. Now they can pull back. That forces Live to have to come round into a world of trouble because the E3 and the IS4 will be able to...
Death Star, great shot there, 1.2k damage.
Big hit specialist low now. Cap points neck and neck. And A, it's going to be extremely difficult for Live to push A without bleeding a tremendous amount of hit points. And we're potentially seeing Fluffy Fox with another big hit into Mortza King. Mortza King's going to have to be very careful. Let's have a look here.
He takes it and he bounces his own shot in return. And Oakenshield puts on the adrenaline. He's going to be able to put in another round if he penetrates it.
Mortza King gets a good hit into Oakenshield, but it's not worth the trade. Potentially a one-shot. Fluffy Fox here dropping the speed boost. Does he have a line of fire? Yes, he does. Good night, Mortza King. One gun up in the favor of LOCA and cap pressure, cap control. There's a minute on the clock and they have double the cap points. It doesn't matter about B now. All LOCA need to do is make sure that they don't lose a gun and they can potentially walk away with the win here.
It was great play there down at the A base. They've just put the pressure on Live entirely. Now Oakenshield's feeling confident enough to come around the corner, knowing that 183 has had to push all the way up to B in Live's desperation. Unfortunately, he fluffs his shot into the ground, but he's now got that pressure point on the side of Live, forcing their heavy tanks to pull back.
And we've got White Tiger here. Oakenshield getting a good bounce in. Specialist needs to take down Oakenshield. Good roll. Oh, and VIP in the 268. He dropped the speed boost. Came out of nowhere. Now this could swing it in the favor of Live if LOCA aren't careful.
Well, LOCA are now capping the base C, but White Tiger is all alone, and as soon as he goes down, then Live are going to be able to cap the A base.
He's
Fluffy
not.
Fox bounces his shell. Unfortunate missed opportunity.
And now
there.
Fluffy Fox is down to 163. He's spotted LOCA with the cap lead. The A, LOCA still with the cap lead though, even though they've lost Oakenshield. Now there's 5 seconds to play. I don't think Live can bring this one back.
It's going to be down to the wire, but it's over now, and LOCA did manage to just scrape it.
Really, really impressive friend request from Janek. Thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Hit points neck and neck there. 2 guns down by LOCA, 3 guns down from Live. That push by Survivor 99, although he died, and Oakenshield in the E3, they went down. What a great push. They managed to kind of dig out the heavy cover that was protecting the heavy cap, and then they pulled back, and they weren't punished for that. And it took Live too long to kind of come back from that. And Live focused on the B base when what they needed to do is stop the cap pressure. But LOCA's control of that heavy cap there, down on the end, just meant that it was almost impossible. Fluffy Fox in the 183 doing a great job of denying that cap when he took down Mortza King in the IS4. Big hit there that we saw.
I really enjoyed the tank lineup that LOCA had then. The use of that E3 was critical because it had the perfect armor profile. It has really strong upper hull, and it's maybe got a slightly weaker lower plate, but it can still take some shells. And it has got the 8 degrees of gun depression.
Well, there's not really any tank when you're up against people of this caliber. There's not really any tank you can take where you're guaranteed 100% bounce. Most players can penetrate someone head on. I mean, like, apart from a horrific mismatch, you know? So pretty much, unless the E3 is dug in like a tick, hiding its lower chassis, you can pen it. But it's going to take you time, and you're going to have to aim. And that's going to lower your effective DPM and force you to kind of be in positions that potentially expose you to incoming fire, like Fluffy Fox in the 183 that was in the Overwatch spot at the back.
Exactly. And just before we get into the fourth round and second round on Dead Rail, the pronunciation is Matada.
What?
For the player Matada. Yes, I know. I'm surprised too. All right, let's get in.
No, I don't buy that. That's not on.
Yeah, I just got told. Anyway, right. So looking at the lineups quickly from LOCA, we have a 50B this time. Batchat, Grill 15 for Fluffy Fox instead of the Death Star. White Tiger and an IS4, 3 IS4s in fact, and an E3 again. And what we have from live?
We've got on live Blaze E50M, Diddy Salah 183 back in the 183. He's such a strong player in that tank. Matada IS4 VIP Matada. We'll say it until we don't forget it. VIP 268 Kawakasa in the E3, Specialist E5 Yannick in the 113. And I wonder, will LOCA be playing the E3? It looks like they're not. Oakenshield this time taking a backline role, more passive. He won't be playing aggressively, but it looks like actually Kawakasa playing. Look at this, Matada and Kawakasa. IS4 E3 mirroring the positions that their opponents had, and Kawakasa in E3 blind firing like Oakenshield did in the previous round. It's like going back in time. Absolutely fantastic play here, and this kind of demonstrates there is a definite meta that these guys are trying to counter, the E3 blind firing into that bush.
It's very much one of basically trying to bleed your enemy of HP, and Specialist takes 2 shells, not just one, as I was about to mention. One from the E3 and one from the Grill. Great play there by those 2 LOCA players, basically making that E5 useless against a potential push.
Did you see who connected on Specialist there?
It was Oakenshield in his E3 and Fluffy Fox in his Griller. Both great play.
Well,
both great shots even.
Really good shots. I mean, the E5, it's a hard pen on the turret, but if you over-angle that turret, you show too much of the side, certainly the Griller and the E3 have got the penetration values to punish someone who pushes a little bit too aggressively. And the E5, you can certainly see, if he's looking for shots on White Tiger, would be overexposing the side of his turret there to Fluffy Fox in the back. Going into free cam though, it's Blazy E50M versus the Reckitt blind firing into where VIP and the 268 is. Again, once more we have a standoff, but the hit points, 2k in the favor of LOCA. That big hit on Specialist, plus their innate HP advantage in terms of tanks taken, standing them in good stead. If
I could just comment on what I believe they might try and do. So LOCA here, being able to put those shots into the E5 and now knowing the position of these E3 and E4, or they're actually trying the same thing again now. So Live are trying what LOCA successfully did last round, and are they going to be able to pull it off?
Well, Survivor getting a HE roll there, taking the tracks of the E3. Someone needs to do...
a shot from the Death Star.
And they've done it. Kawakasa in the E3, shielding Matada. White Tiger not able to come in time. Now Kawakasa and Matada pulling back. They've done exactly the same thing. What an unfortunate play by LOCA there. But Kawakasa bleeding HP on the pullback. Now there's 2 very low HP. Oh my god, Kawakasa down to 49 HP. Really good comeback here from LOCA. This potentially puts them in a position to push. Although Diddy Salah, in the same position as Fluffy Fox from last game with the 183, could be the make or break, the hand of God, the saving grace to back up his teammates. But it looks like he's slightly out of position. I'm not...
Look at the base C quickly. The 50B and the Batchat are pushing up on the E50M, and this could mean that Blazy goes down.
There we go. The Reckitt bounces, double bounce.
Shots, though.
And Evil Boobs 1 in the chamber, the Reckitt 2 in the chamber. Evil Boobs misses, the Reckitt taking...
misses. Yannick misses as well, so the supporting fire for the E50M from the live players is not being as successful as they would have hoped either.
Oh, the Reckitt just getting out of dodge in time. VIP unspotted there in the backfield. If the Reckitt peaks here, a HE shell from VIP in the 268 could ruin his day. It could be all over for the Reckitt here. Oh, big hit. The Reckitt down to 151 HP and live.
Down.
With E50M there, Blazy taking him down. Live looking very strong at the moment.
So LOCA here now put themselves in a really awkward position, bringing up that grill so far, and the 50B is not a tank. It cannot sustain damage against a 2.6 and 760 damage there from the 183 in the back. Unfortunately, he didn't roll higher there, but he does eventually go down to the E50M of Blazy.
Well, Diddy Salah, amazing awareness there to be firing across the other side of the map, but that's a big hit into VIP. Now, Live have got the cap advantage by 400 points, the 2-gun advantage. They have to play soft. They've got Blazy, 237, Kawakasi, 49. They've got low HP tanks. A concerted push by LOCA with 2 minutes on the clock could swing it, but...
You say that, but the LOCA's still spread out all over the place. They got Fluffy Fox by himself up on near the base C, and IS4 in the middle. If they wanted to push, they should bring those tanks down and make a concerted push through the middle, like you just said.
Yannick in the 1-1-3 here. Good job. I mean, Yannick's job now is to get shot. He needs to take fire away from his low HP teammates. I mean, if LOCA are shooting at him, they're not finishing off the one-shots. Oh, but that being said, Fluffy Fox taking down Blazy. Great move here. Fluffy Fox potentially...
VIP coming in with the HE round, potentially into Fluffy Fox. And he fluffs it!
Oh, I can't believe it, off the gun! Absolutely, massively unfortunate. Yannick in the 1-1-3 here, coming up to support. Fluffy Fox alone. We're not seeing a flex. Karolek flexing to the main side. Now Yannick spotted. Fluffy Fox knows he's up against 1 versus 2. Survivor 99 taking big hits here. Down to 309 HP. Fluffy Fox has got C.
LOCA's got the advantage in hit points. They really need to start using it. Karolek is now capping base B, but once he's done that, he needs to make a push in to try and take out that E3 or damage that E5 further.
Well, there's no point. There's no point him capping B, and there goes Oakenshield, because Live are so far ahead in terms of the hit points now, in terms of the cap points, sorry, that they have to clear guns. They have to start bringing back that HP advantage. Great roll from Fluffy Fox there to finish off VP.
Look at this. After that, Karolek's now coming down as well. He fluffs his shot on the E5. Really important shot to miss there. And now he's going to be facing a DPM battle with an E5.
Well, he's going to take Specialist. It's not going to be enough, though. If Kawakasa and Yannick can hang in the game, there's 800 cap points. But there goes Matada. Okay, no, it's not enough. Surely, there's 20 seconds on the clock. All we need is for Kawakasa to hang in here, along with Yannick.
Yannick just pulling back, and he's not going to be finished in time with only less than 10 seconds remaining.
And he knows that. Look at that victory celebration, elevating the gun. 1 second on the clock. Kawakasa's down, but Yannick hanging in there with over 1,000 HP. Really good play there. I think it was a misplay by LOCA focusing on the B cap. At that point in time, there was no point going for the cap pressure on your scoreboard. You needed to control the cap pressure on the enemy scoreboard, which is denying their caps or removing their guns. And I think, Karolek going into B lost LOCA precious seconds on the clock. But looking at...
Well, not only that, but it meant that it took him much longer, and the E5 had moved to a different position where he would have been able to get side shots into him.
Exactly.
So they've almost lost themselves the game.
Yeah, and if they'd managed to finish off the E5 1, maybe 2 shots earlier, maybe a little bit even quicker if they hadn't focused on B, that would have given them time to get into Kawakasa. That would have reduced the enemy's effective potential DPM, and that could have meant that they theoretically might have had enough time to move in on Yannick. Although we'll never know. Another hotly contested game. Live leading LOCA 3-1. Bearing in mind, both of these teams are in this match 2-2 on the BPL leaderboard. LOCA, of course, being 1 point ahead because they managed to smash Win, who is next, apart 4-0 yesterday evening. The first game where we saw one team having a clean slate victory against their opponent.
Really important stuff. And now the next map we have is Fort Despair, and this is my personal favorite map.
Your absolute favorite.
Absolutely. Well, apart from Old Mines was my favorite map.
Oh,
but
no.
In the current build of the game, Fort Despair is my favorite map. And that's for several reasons. The way that you can rotate in this map and the different ways you can use your heavy tanks is pretty much infinite. You can use them in what a common meta was as pushing 2 IS7s towards the B cap in the middle, and they got perfect hold down positions, and it would basically just be a match of skill. Those
walls, the elevated area just between, I think it's A and B, certainly the outside cap.
It's in a cap base, in the encounter cap base. Yeah, that's where it is.
Exactly. That wall, it's almost like it was designed that way, to be the perfect height for a Russian heavy tank to hide behind. But, we can't say definitively. But, certainly It's a really strong spot for an IS-7, IS-4. Keep your eyes peeled for that in the next game. For me, I can't play TDs myself. I'm probably one of the worst TD players you know. I much prefer a mobile tank, but I like this map as well because, unlike we saw in Dead Rail, there are limited positions for the TDs, with the exception of the E3, which can be a bit of a bully, push forwards. There's lots of different potential layers. The TDs can be at the very back, at the back of your spawn, rocking long sight lines, or they can be a little bit further forwards, or they can be kind of, you know, tucked in behind a bush somewhere, waiting to kind of ambush someone. So not only are there lots of different options for heavy tanks on this map, there are also lots of different options for the TDs. You're not guaranteed to know where a particular TD is. You can have a good bet, but it's not a surefire thing. This is also where it's not a map really for medium and light tanks in terms of flexes.
No.
It's quite small.
However, you can use medium tanks very effectively if you push them right out beyond the, I believe it's the C base, or is it the A base? I can't remember, but it's right out into the corner.
The left side, the top left corner cap, effectively.
Exactly. And from there, if you use something like a T62A or an M48 pattern, you can get in beautiful hold down positions on the broken building that's out there, or just off the terrain. And often you see heavy tanks bleed tons and tons of HP due to
that. If you can get a Russian medium or even an STB, a low chassis tank into that position, super effective, because potentially you can spot enemy TDs in the sniper bush. You also then put your enemy flank in the crossfire, and it gives you solid map control. But it doesn't look well. It looks like actually Blazy from Live potentially rocking a T62A. He could be uncontested unless the wrecked in the 113 from LOCA goes out that way as well. We need these guys.
It's important you mention that, actually, because LOCA don't have a medium tank, and this means that he could potentially run circles or do potentially really dangerous flanking maneuvers on LOCA.
Yeah, I mean, if LOCA don't take a medium and Live do, they'll see that as soon as the game starts. They'll see their opponent's lineup, and that will telegraph to Blazy, hey Blazy, you've got a free run on that side of the map potentially, and LOCA will have to be careful because they absolutely cannot let the T62 operate with impunity in that corner, because that will damage their effectiveness on that flank. But at the same time, you know, the 113 potentially can get outplayed in terms of mobility by the T62 up close. So they will need to back up the 113 with someone else. But that two guns locking down that flank against the T62A could cost them the gun advantage in the heavy area, in the TD arena, towards the center and other side of the map.
And let's see what they do as we head into our first battle and potentially match point on Fort Despair.
Yeah, Live just needing one victory here. So Live, we've got VIP IS-4, Diddy Seller IS-4, Specialist IS-7, Kawakasa in the mouse, Yannick 268, Blazy in the T62A, and it looks like, just having a look here, I need to move that ammo bar. Worst decision of my life. It looks like Tisco in the E3. And what are we seeing from LOCA on the red team?
So we've got the FV215B, which we saw yesterday, but is sadly now an uncommon tank. It's got its excellent DPM, that's its main selling point. And you've got 3 IS-4s, very expectable, and 268, also a very strong tank destroyer we've outlined previously. E3, great for hold down or just gun down positions, and 113 for that mobility. And here we see VIP in his IS-4 moving right up to that spot to counter Korolek, who is going to his opposing side. And this is what we highlighted earlier.
Yeah, and look here, Blazy T62A in the corner with impunity, but Fluffy Fox, superb camouflage 268. He's spotted Blazy, but hasn't been spotted in return. Blazy, if he's smart, if he can deny the angles of fire onto the likely TD positions, could potentially engage the heavy tanks. Yes, he does. Gets a shot into Survivor 99 there. The angles of fire in the favor of Live here, and he's doing...
Be careful though. If you look at Fluffy Fox at the back, he might potentially be able to get a shot into Blazy's side.
Well, he's not looking at Blazy. He's actually looking at Tisco.
Bounces, unfortunately.
In E3, Tisco here using the gun depression, and it's Karolek in the IS-4 losing HP at a very rapid pace, down to a 2-shot effectively. VIP, his opposite number. This is that spot we were talking about for the Russian heavies. VIP looking super happy and healthy in terms of hit point pool, gets a bounce from Karolek,
I'd like to comment quickly on the E3. That's a really great counter that I haven't seen very often used. However, he is getting punished from Fluffy Fox, so maybe they thought about this, and it shows that they really have evolved in the meta.
Well, we're looking over at the C cap though. Karalex down around the B area. LOCA dominating C. Oakenshield and Evil Boobs. Oakenshield E3, Evil Boobs 215B. They've locked in C. They're out trading Kawakasa and Specialist. And if we look here, VIP going back across to the B cap. He's pushed up too aggressively. Survivor 99 and Fluffy Fox potentially punishing him. Fluffy Fox with a shot in the chamber. Big roll into the side of the turret of VIP. VIP down to White Tiger. Great poke there by the IS-4.
It was really good focus fire there by LOCA against that solo IS-4 He just wasn't supported enough. The 62A isn't being as effective, or at least he's not penetrating enough shots. And he just took a shot there from the 268 of Fluffy Fox as well at the back.
Well, it's one gun down a piece. Specialist fluffs a shot. Evil Boobs gets one in. Great play in the 215B here. It's an uncommon tank because it's not an easy tank to master, but a good player in a 215B can wreak havoc on the enemies. Oakenshield in the E3. Absolute chokehold here. He's relying... Look at this. He's turned his back to the entire flank. He's pressuring Diddy Salah. Bounced off Diddy Salah, the tracer fire going off into the wall. Big hit by Tisco.
Great shot there from his counterpart, the other E3 of Tisco.
Yeah.
And this has just turned into a massive trade fight. Everyone's just getting stuck in, and everyone is penetrating shots.
To refresh on the overall thing, it's about a 300 cap lead to LOCA. They've got about a 1000 HP lead. Guns apiece. Oakenshield going down though. Tisco doing a fantastic job. Fluffy Fox. No one. Tisco, look at this. Amazing position. He's going to finish off Oakenshield. No, it's Specialist in the IS-7. That gives the gun advantage.
And now Evil Boobs is at the front almost by himself, and he's just not got the armor to withstand a 268 and an IS-7. He puts one shot in and he gets supporting fire, but it's just not going to be enough to save his life.
Well, I'm disappointed here. The Reckitt is not being aggressive enough. He needs to rotate hit point pools, but he's left it too late. Now it's a strong gun advantage. 4 guns down from LOCA. They still have the cap lead, but it's 3 guns. On to 6. There's a lot of one-shots, but the Reckitt now pushing on Specialist. Fluffy Fox finishing off Tisco. Fluffy Fox, potentially the only saving grace on the side of LOCA.
It's not anymore. Now you've got the mobility that we mentioned of the medium tank, just able to completely counter that 268. And I believe that this is pretty much all she wrote for LOCA.
Yeah, certainly live. I mean, they've got 5 tanks on the field with below 3k HP. How is that possible? And now LOCA down to 1 tank on 600. Yeah, this is all she wrote. There's nothing really that the White Tiger can do in this situation. And there's Blazy getting the flank on.
By Janek in his 268.
Great performance. It's a 4-1 victory. Is it 4-1 or 4-2? 4-1 victory, I think.
4-1.
4-1 victory to live.
Wow.
Very convincing performance.
That damage.
For me, a really upsetting moment in that game, because LOCA I thought could take that. It was the Reckitt in the 113 being too passive, not backing up Evil Boobs, and it was a mistake. Not an intentional mistake, but an unfortunate turn of events. Oakenshield in the E3 was not hull down, and he was playing up against exactly the same tank, his opposite number, Tisco in the E3, but Tisco was hull down. And in terms, those guys were trading shot for shot, and Tisco just had all of the odds skewed in his favor.
It's just... What LOCA did there was good. They'd got the setup right at the beginning, and they'd positioned their tanks more to the heavy side, which basically negated the effect of the T-62A as we saw, and he wasn't able to put in very many effective shots. However, LOCA lost their advantage when, as you said, that 113 didn't support him enough. They would have been able to push through that C base and potentially deal more damage to live.
Yeah, it was really strong performance there by Live. That means LOCA, with the 1 point on the loss, will go up to 10. But Live, 3 points on the win, on to their 8, go up to 11. So LOCA, 1 game played more than Legion top team on Unknown, joined them on 10 points. But Live, now 3 for 2, leading the pack, at least until Legion top team and Unknown have their next game. They're leading 3 victories for 2 on 11 points. So really we're still looking at a very hotly contested league. The lower end of the scale on 6 points, the top end of the scale on 11 points. It's just 5 points to play, and the teams at the bottom have still got 3 matches. So it's still wide open.
It's still very, very close. I mean, both of these teams started on very similar points, LOCA just having 1 more point than Live. And now we see that Live have overtaken them and nudged the top highest score from 10 to 11. But it's still, as you said, all to play for. We could see any of these teams, even Mates, Elements, who were sitting on 6 points each, to come back up if they manage to score a flawless victory.
Yeah, and I'm going to direct everyone now to Satan's YouTube channel, to Thomas Legion's YouTube channel, the Legion Clan's YouTube channel. This is the last game of the BPL for 2018 that I will be streaming. I am unfortunately going to be overseas, and I won't be returning until long after the BPL has concluded. So the BPL is running up until, I think, the 30th or the 31st of August.
The 30th.
The 30th of August, smartly concluding before the Twister preliminaries and the Ascent tournaments start in earnest. So you won't catch any more BPL on this YouTube channel. Do stay subscribed. We're going to have a lot more Clan Wars content for World of Tanks Blitz coming out in the near future.
Should we mention we've got something in the works currently that will be a much more casual and involving tournament that many, even if you are not the most experienced clan, that you might be able to get involved in. Yeah, so just stay put, and you'll see more from us in the future.
Absolutely, stay tuned. Word to look out for in the future is Legacy. That's the name I'm thinking for that tournament. It sounds good. It sounds, it sounds pretty cheesy. It sounds suitably
Blitz
hammy.
Legacy.
Blitz Legacy. Come on, what's not to like?
I like it. I like it.
And that is that. More details to follow. But in the meantime, you've still got just under, you've got about a week's more worth of games to go. This is we've just seen round 17 of 28 of the round robin phase, so there's still 11 more round robin matches to go. Then you'll have the semi-finals, the playoff for third place, and the grand finals. So make sure that you pay attention to the Blitz Events Community Discord channel. You listen to Satan when he spams you in Discord, and certainly I know I'm going to have a lot of streams to catch up on when I return from overseas. So that's all from me. Huge thank you to Satan for joining me here and controlling the room.
Thank you very much to Swarm as well for helping out with the tournament, and he's been crucial. I'd just like to reiterate that tonight, usually we obviously have 2 games, and we'd have a second one starting at 20:30 CST. However, tonight, I mentioned this at the start of the stream, Eros and Unknown will not be playing each other. Rather, they will be playing at a rescheduled date at 2000 CEST on Sunday. So just keep that in mind, and hopefully they will see you there. And apart from that, our schedule is normal, but we will be seeing all of the games in future on either Thomas's channel, the Legion Clan channel, or other players. All these links, as Swarm just said, will be made available easily. I believe that's it from me. So anything else to add?
No, just to say good night and thank you for tuning in once again.
Thank you, guys. Goodbye.